Welcome back to Boundaries and Boss Modes, where we talk about building a business that works for your life and not the other way around. I'm your host, Louisa Marie, and I'm so excited that you've decided to join us today. Today, I want to talk about something that's been heavy on my heart lately, and that is complacency. Yes, complacency. That quiet, sneaky thing that slips into our lives and our business where we stop checking in on ourselves and our business and we start coasting when good enough becomes the default. Yeah, I had to pause with that, even as I was saying it. When good enough becomes the default. After the uncertainty in the market that we spoke about in the last episode, we had the market shifts, we had reduced funding, businesses pivoting. It's tempting to cling to anything that feels stable, to do what we've always done and hope that it keeps working. That's normal. Complacency is comfortable until it isn't. And here's a truth bomb for you. Complacency is not just dangerous for your growth, it's also dangerous for the client you serve. So let's dive in. When people hear complacency, they picture someone slacking, someone not trying. I get the image of someone being lazy. But honestly, that's rarely what it looks like for us entrepreneurs because we're always on the go. Like, we don't have time to be lazy. Complacency essentially is what happens when we stop leading and start reacting slowly, quietly, until the gaps they start to show. And they show up like this. You stop checking in on your client workflows. It's good enough. It works before, it works now. You assume your team knows what to do without actually reviewing the deliverables with them. You skip the personal touches that once set your service apart. Or you put the same offer out the same way every single time without actually asking yourself, is this what they need? It's just rinse and repeat. So you might still be busy, but you're no longer being intentional. And I'm going to repeat that. You might still be busy, but you're no longer being intentional. And listen, I'm not saying that you got to be on launch mode all year, on edge all year long. I'm not saying you have to reinvent your business every quarter. That's not what I'm saying. It's not sustainable. And it goes against everything that I teach in business and how I run my business and how I support my clients. But what I'm saying is that as a business leader, as a business owner, you need to regularly be intentional with the check-ins in your business of what you're offering. Your mission is something that needs a regular check-in. Your offers, as I just said previously, your team. If you have a team, you got to check in and make sure, you know what, they're also not becoming complacent. Your client experience and your systems. Complacency isn't something that happens on purpose. We just get comfortable or we get busy, honestly. That's a fact of the matter. We get comfortable or we get busy, and we don't take the time to go back and reflect. So I want to take this moment now, a moment to pause, and I want you to ask yourself this. Is what you're doing now, are your offers, is your business, is your work the best way to serve your people, your ideal client, or is it just the easiest? Now let's get real with ourselves. Is this the best way to serve your clients, or is it the easiest way to serve your clients? And while I'm on the subject of easiest, I want to talk about AI real quick. Because if we're just trying to take the easiest route, you will be replaced. Because AI is a strong, powerful tool, let me tell you. I use AI. I personally use AI. And it's great. But what I've seen is a shift of people really just over relying on something that's designed to just be a tool. You're letting AI replace your thoughtful service instead of supporting it. That looks like copy and pasting responses that actually miss the human touch. A lot of us know when your emails are AI generated. Automation that confuses the crap out of people instead of clarifying. As an automation girl, as a systems girl, I've been guilty of going into AI and say, okay, what's the best way to automate this? And I read that and it's like, what in the world? What in the world? My job is to simplify things, not complicate it. And sometimes AI complicates things more than it needs to be. And sometimes as service providers, we depend on this thing that's supposed to be a tool instead of using our human brain to figure out what is the simplest way. AI is not always right. And lastly, for those social media managers, those people who are creating content, copywriters, like your content starts to feel generic and not grounded in real conversation. That is the way AI shows up in your life, in your business, and builds on the concept of complacency. So again, I ask you, is the way you're serving your people the best way, or is it the easiest way? And I'll leave it at that. AI is a whole different subject, and we can go down the rabbit hole. We're not going to go there. Now, let's bring it back to your clients. Complacency, it impacts your brand. It does. But it impacts your clients first. It does. They start to feel it when you're onboarding, it feels rushed or outdated. You miss key milestones or overlook the small details. You've actually lost a spark. Well, the honeymoon phase when you started is gone. You're like, whatever. And most importantly, they're not seeing the results that came to you for in the first place, just more busy work. Your clients don't always see things as a crisis, the complacency as a crisis. They don't always see that. Sometimes it's just a slow erosion of trust. And by the time you notice it, your client's already halfway out the door and it's too late for you. I'll be honest with you. Even with a solid team and good systems, I've had my moments where I had to stop and say, am I coasting? You see, complacency isn't something that happens on purpose. It's not. We just get comfortable or we get busy. And that's the fact of the matter. So what I want to do right now, I want to take a moment and I want to pause so that you can ask yourself this question. It's a 2-in-1. Is this though the best way to serve my people? Or is it just the easiest? Is what you got going on the best way to serve your ideal client? Or is it the easiest? And let's go back to the questions that I asked you. Is what you got going on the best way to serve your people, or is it the easiest? Sit with that, reflect on it. And if it's not the best way to serve your people, what are you going to do about it? Sometimes it's a slow erosion of trust. And by the time you notice it, they already gave you your notice. I'll be honest with you. I mean, this wouldn't be boundaries and boss moves if I wasn't honest with you anyway. Even with a solid team and good systems, I've had moments this year where I've had to stop and say, am I coasting? I actually just came out of a season of doing that, a week of doing that. And it's what sparked this podcast. I was delivering. I was busy. But I actually wasn't challenging myself to level up my client experience. And it's not because I didn't care. I do care deeply. And my team and my clients can tell you how much I care. But I was just tired. I was tired. Some things just became good enough. Oh, this is good enough. So why do more? Whatever. And sometimes as a leader, you got to call yourself out before the clients do. Lucky enough, I was able to call myself out before my clients did, before the systems started to show all the cracks, and before my reputation took a hit. Lucky for me. Can I say that you'll be just as lucky? I hope so. I hope so. I hope you take the time to reflect on this before your systems start to show cracks and before your reputation takes a hit. And this isn't about guilt, not guilt at all, no guilt. It's about integrity. And integrity is one of the core values of my company. It's the core value of my life, my family values, all of it. It all comes back to integrity. I made the time last week to review my client journey. And honestly, I'm so looking forward to once again showing up with my best self forward. Not because it's easy, because it's the right thing to do. So here's my challenge for you. I'm going to come at you with some more questions. I've got some questions that I want you to ask yourself. And if you have to pause this episode to ask yourself these questions, do that. If you're driving, pause this and talk to your phone, whether it's Siri or I'm not sure what's the Android's assistant's name. Whoever it is on your phone, talk to your phone and tell them, set a reminder for when I get home so I can go back to these questions. And here's what I want you to ask yourself. Where have you gotten too comfortable? I'm going to gear these questions towards you. I'm going to change the person in here. Ask yourself this. Where have I gotten too comfortable? Where in my business have I started settling instead of serving? Because remember, if you're a service-based provider, it's all about serving. And what small step could I take today to re-engage with excellence? Not good enough, not mediocre, not okay. Excellence, because that is what's going to set you apart, especially in this economy. If you're realizing that things have gotten a little too complacent, set it and forget it, this is really your sign to pause and reset before you're replaced. Really. And I mean this sincerely. You are replaceable, especially in the day and age of AI. So don't be complacent. Pause, reset. And I have an offer for you. I offer one-on-one consulting. And it isn't just strategy. There's a lot of strategy involved, but it's not just that. It's about stepping back and looking into your role as the leader you are, the leader your business needs, the leader your clients needs. And while we're doing that, stepping back and looking at all the things, we're auditing your systems, you and I together. We're looking at your client experience and seeing, is there complacency in there? Is there room for growth? How am I going the extra mile? We're realigning your offers to what your people actually need right now. Not last year, not 5 years from now, right now. And we're going to put a plan in place to move forward with clarity and intention and accountability. If this hits home for you, if you are ready to take this step, if you're ready to step out of the complacency trap and really lead again in excellence, I want you to book a free discovery call with me. You can see the link in the show notes, or you can visit my website, www.adminvirtuosa.com, and there's a book a call button on the top right. Click that button, and let's book a call. Thank you for tuning in to Boundaries and Boss Moves. Until next time. And remember, take care of your business and take care of yourself.